Have you ever been so upset about something that you can't sleep and you're so angry about something that you can't sleep? So, after watching Tea Time tonight, I went back and looked at my test results, my blood test results, because I have to get my blood drawn because I am immune compromised. I've had cancer. I have fibromyalgia, and you know, while I was a paparazzi consultant, my doctor diagnosed me with MS, and then my husband's coming out, and then about 4 months ago, the doctor redid the test results to see why my symptoms weren't getting worse, and turns out I didn't have MS. Now, I have had paparazzi jewelry out of my house now for 16 months. I haven't had the 25,000 plus pieces in my house that I had while I was an active consultant. But I went back and I looked at my blood results on my chart from before I signed up to be a paparazzi consultant, and then 4 months, okay, after I was a paparazzi consultant, and it's kind of upsetting because I'm looking at my full and complete blood panel, and yeah, it's upsetting. Before I was a paparazzi consultant, my magnesium was normal. I was in the normal range. My complete levels for everything was good. Everything was perfect. Everything was great. But then 4 months into being a paparazzi consultant, my copper levels started to drop, and they dropped drastically, and I'm actually going to put it up on screen here because I signed up for paparazzi in December 2018. So December of 2018 is when I signed up to be a paparazzi consultant, and my copper and serum levels, normal is 72 to 166. My copper and serum levels in July of 2019, so that's about 7 or 8 months after I signed up, my copper and serum were at 51. They had never tested me for this before. And then they kept testing me for it. So my copper and serum levels, and this is with me taking a copper pill every single day. This is January of 2020, 52. And that's with taking a pill every single day. It went up 1, okay? Now, this is my copper and serum levels after getting most of my paparazzi jewelry out of my house. This is August of 2020. And mind you, I had quit paparazzi jewelry in March of 2020. My copper's starting to go back up. And then this is my copper after getting almost everything out of my house. Notice how it keeps going up? My doctor stopped testing for it because it was going back up and everything else was looking good. So my complete blood is showing that everything was back to normal. So I did a Google search. So copper levels low due to lead exposure. And turns out Yeah, lead exposure can lead to low copper levels. So on top of all of the symptoms I was experiencing um, due to whatever was in this jewelry, um, some of my symptoms that got worse while I was a paparazzi consultant was the neuropathy, where you feel like you have pins and needles all over your body. That was getting worse, which my doctor thought was MS related. It turns out no, it's lead exposure related. So I googled the lead exposure symptoms. Um, Sluggishness and fatigue. What are you doing, puppy? Oh, Lily's having a moment. My poor little girl. Just keep it on the potty pad, honey, and mommy will clean it up. I was dealing with a lot of abdominal pain. I was dealing with loss of appetite. I was extremely irritable. I was having brain fog that was off the charts, really, really bad. I was having trouble concentrating. I was having memory problems. I was dealing with joint and muscle pain. I was having headaches all the time. These are all symptoms that are due to lead exposure. Yeah. Lily, leave it, leave it, leave it, Lily, leave it. Mommy will clean it up. It must be in the middle of the night and the dog's out here having a moment. So yeah, I I never even thought, and it never even occurred to me that the issues I was dealing with was because of the jewelry that I had in my house. Never even crossed my mind. I mean, I live in Washington. I was pale anyway because I never get, sun ever. So looking pale, well, yeah, my mom always said I looked gaunt and pale while I was doing paparazzi. Um, I did deal with a lot of nausea, but because of my gastric surgeries, I couldn't vomit. I was, uh, it's just, it's just so disgusting. You know, they go after women who are home because of chronic illness and pain. And sorry, I'm so upset that I'm feeling like I'm gonna vomit right now. But they go after women who have issues with, sorry, my camera. And yes, this is a pajama shirt, that are looking for jobs so they can work from home. And I seriously, can you focus on this camera? Come on. Come on, camera. Sorry, I don't know why it does this, especially when I'm trying to have a moment and share with you guys stuff. I'm going to reach out to my state's attorney general tomorrow and let them know that I do have documented proof of the lead poisoning that I experienced while with this company. And I encourage other people to reach out to their attorney generals as well. I'm also going to reach out to the Center of Disease Control, and I'm going to reach out to the FTC and let them know about what I personally experienced. Because a copper deficiency can lead to blindness. So the lead exposure caused my body to be deficient in copper. Copper deficiency leads to blindness. I was also zinc deficient. I was also dealing with iron iron deficiencies and anemia deficiencies and, you know, all of these things that, you know, I already have a compromised immune system. I already have health issues that are just, you know, already bad enough. But seeing this, seeing Tea Time tonight made me, it made me double check and go look. And it turns out that, yeah, I had exposure to lead because things that you wouldn't think would be due to lead exposure because of jewelry. Um, and and granted, this is only 4 months into 4 months, 4 months of having this jewelry in my house, and my folate was below normal. My iron and this is my iron panel, and as you can see, I was below normal on both of those. My TIBC was 200, normal's 250. My UIBC is 105, normal is 131. But my iron saturation was high there. And then my comprehensive metabolism, almost everything was in normal range, but was closer to the below normal range. So even my calcium levels were suffering, my ferritin levels, and this ferritin, my iron and my ferritin, this was after getting iron infusions. Normal is 15 to 150, and after an iron infusion, it was at 40. So my vitamin D was low, but my copper exposure, normal is 72, and 4 months after having this stuff in my house, I was at 51. And then, you know, within months of, you know, me getting almost all of it out of my house, and granted, I had 25,000 plus pieces that I was handling and dealing with in my house, and I still had some of this in my house in September of 2020 because I hadn't gotten rid of all of it. I was really close, but my copper and serum levels were at 59. So I went from a 51 to a 59, and this is with me taking a pill every single day. But it was suffering because of lead exposure. And my most recent blood panel, where they check everything, and this was in September, I'm at 81. 81. A year later, my copper levels are back to normal because I'm not exposed to the lead in the jewelry anymore. That has to be said for something. You know, something is seriously fucked up about all of this. And yeah, I plan on letting my attorney general know. You know, 15 months and $84,000 and exposure to toxic chemicals that caused my blood work to go down and to where my body thought it was dealing with multiple sclerosis. I already had fibromyalgia, but it tricked my body into thinking I had MS because my body was dealing with symptoms that were reflective of MS. But it wasn't MS, it was lead exposure. Hey, paparazzi accessories. I'm sorry, I'm a little mad right now because my health was already in bad shape before I signed up to be a consultant with this company, and then it went downhill to the point where I'd gained weight and was dealing with what we thought was MS, and it wasn't. I am so mad that I did this to myself. But it's like, I'm mad because people are still doing this to themselves, and the company is not taking any ownership or dealing with this at all. So, yeah, paparazzi, you better batten down the hatches and prepare for a very stormy day that's coming your way, because there are a lot of people out there that now looking at this and looking at their blood work. And, you know, I've had it out of my house for over 20 months. I don't have any of it left. So, you know, I can't really go and test for lead exposure now. But my blood panels show that I was exposed to lead because of my copper levels. My copper levels showing that I was exposed to lead. Because you can Google, you know, copper levels being low due to lead exposure, and it's right on the CDC website. Short-term exposure to lead, and it can affect the levels. And, you know, anemia of lead intoxication and the role for copper. There's a whole article on it from the Oxford Academic Journal of Nutrition. And I'm just going to read this real quick. Lead-induced anemia in rats, which is a microcritic hemochromatic type, has been shown to be a result of interference with metabolism of copper and iron. I was dealing with iron deficiency, anemia, and copper deficiency. In this complex interaction, copper may be the target upon which ingested lead has an anagonistic effect of the blah, blah, blah. I can't read all these words. I'm not a doctor. The depression is hemocratic, and hemoglobin levels resulting from the exposure of lead may occur secondarily to the effects of lead-induced copper deficiency in iron metabolism, mobilization, and utilization. The metabolic fault induced by lead is seen as a reduction of serum iron, elevated serum iron binding capacity, and the increase in liver iron. And the manifestations and systematic effects relate to an interference with copper metabolism. These results relate to many of the characteristics in a lead-induced anemia to those found in the copper deficiency anemia. Well, I had copper deficiency anemia. I had iron deficiency anemia. You know, this scar on my head is something I got because my immune system was so piss poor that I caught a staph infection back in May of this year, and this is my body still healing from that staph infection because my immune system has taken an extreme beating. So yeah, my copper is directly related to my exposure to paparazzi jewelry. I'm sure of it. I'm 100% sure of it because my copper levels have improved over the last 16 months, and I don't even have to take a copper pill anymore because my levels have improved so much. So this is fucking ridiculous. This company better look out because they've pissed off the wrong group of women, I think. I'm one of them. And I think I'll be reaching out to Bob Ferguson and letting him know. Bob Ferguson took down LULA. I would love to see him do the same with paparazzi. Leave your comments in the section below. Like and subscribe. I think things just got real for me. Yeah, they did.